Greetings, this is Karmen from FuturePrint in Regina, Saskatchewan. We are full-service printers with a long history of customer service excellence. Enjoy our latest video in our Karmen's Corner video series on everything printing. Today we're going to be talking about typography. If you're just in Microsoft Word and writing a simple letter, you might want to change fonts and play with the fonts a little bit. So we're going to be talking about that. One of the first lessons we're going to learn today or talk about is regular type, which is here. Then bold type is here, and italic, the letters are slanted to the right. They are all the same font, all the same family, but they're different parts of the family. So that's the very first thing, and I'm sure if you've ever used Microsoft Word, you've dealt with that exact scenario. Something underlined, you've used that on a daily basis. The parts of typography that are a little bit harder to understand, and you might say, why would I ever need this? For example, if you need the letters or the numbers on your boat, the specifications ask for a 4-inch letter. So now how do you measure that letter? Is it from the bottom of the number to the top of the number, or the bottom, like if it was a type, the bottom of the Y to the top of the H, or something like that? You have to know how to measure the letter for having your boat numbers. So here's an example. I'm going to be talking about parts of typography. One of the first things is the cap height. The cap height is the top of the T to the bottom of the T of a capital letter. That's called cap height. Another thing is the baseline, is the bottom of line of the type here. That's called a baseline. There's all kinds of different things. These are ascenders, the part that goes up above. A descender is like a Y where it comes down below. Little other parts we won't get into, like a counter or a bowl or different things, stems, not even going to worry about those. Some of the other things we deal with are superscript and subscript. That's down here. This is superscript is at the top. Subscript is down at the bottom. They're little numbers where you see a reference down to the bottom of the page, or a percentage sign, or inches or something like that. That's done with superscript and subscript. Again, something we don't use on a daily basis, but we see it on a daily basis. The X height is the top of the lowercase to the bottom of the lowercase letter. And that's only for lowercase. Uppercase means a capital, lowercase means a small letter. And that comes from the olden days where they had the upper letters in the wooden drawers in the upper part and the small in the lower part of the drawer. Uppercase and lowercase actually was a drawer. The other thing we're going to talk about is spacing between the letters. I think there's an example here somewhere. The space between the letters is called kerning. That's how far. You can have sometimes the words that are all crammed together. That's because the kerning is very close together. We're going to talk now about dingbats. These are these things. It's these little symbols and letters that you can do, like if you change fonts to a dingbat font and type a letter A, you might get that. And if you type a letter A in a capital, you might get that. So these are called dingbats. We're also going to talk here today about serifs and sans serifs. Serifs are these little tails or these little decorative parts on letters. And that's a serif where it has these little extra pieces at the bottoms, for example. And this is a sans serif. Sans is French for no. So it's a no serifs on the letter. So it's sans means. And this is a straight font. There's no little curly decorations on it. This is a reverse. Same type you could use, except it's in reverse. It's black background with white letters. It's also very important to choose the right font for your project. Each font has a little flavor about it or a personality to it. Different fonts can be used for different purposes. For example, if you're having a roundup or a cowboy event of some kind, there's cowboy fonts. A script is wonderful for wedding invitations and things like that, but a script also is very selective for its purpose. It looks fancy, it looks scrolly, not to be used for everything. If you're doing something else, it might want to look very serious or very easy to read. Did you know that Times is the most easy font to read? If you look at newspapers, it's something that's been used for generations. Times, a regular Times font, because it's so easy to use, in upper and lower case. My tip of the day is, caution, never use capitals when using a script. Here is example, do not use all caps in a script font. That exact line, in that type with upper and lower case, only this letter is upper. But this particular font is a really good example of what not to do. This line is that same information. Do not use all caps in a script font, but in all capitals. That looks like another language. You can hardly read it because that is all capitals. Do not use capitals in scripts. That's my tip of the day. See you next time. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this or any of our videos, contact us today. Or if you'd like to discuss your printing needs, we'd love to hear from you. Find our details online at futureprint.ca.